I tested 3 side hustles to see if any of them actually make money. One of them made a surprisingly good amount of money, one of them barely worked, and honestly, one of them was a complete waste of time. Side hustles are everywhere online, and it seems most of them are better than they are. Today I'm going to be showing you 3 side hustles that I've personally done and give you my honest opinion. I'll be providing pictures and insights, and stick around for the last one, which is my most profitable one. So for the first side hustle, it was storage units. My experience with storage units gave me the most stories, but I don't think it was really worth my time at all, and I'll explain why. The amount of money we made on storage units was probably about $1,200 to $1,500 when it was all said and done, and since it was halvesies, I made about $750, my buddy made about $750. So my experience with storage units, a buddy and I, we bought 3 storage units. And when I say storage units, I'm talking about the items that were auctioned off inside the storage unit, not the storage unit itself. The first one was the one that we actually profited on. The second one we lost money on, and the third one we basically broke even. We were maybe a little bit profitable. So in this first one, as you can see in the photo, we were bidding on this storage unit that kind of looks like there's a lot of trash in it. I had some experience in HVAC, so I knew a lot of the stuff in that back wall was actually air duct. And the floor fans, did some research on them, and I noticed that they were worth some money. And so we decided that we were gonna go halvesies on it and buy it. We both left our shifts at work. We were working at Chipotle at the time, and we left about noon, and we went over there, straight over there to the storage unit all the way in Plano, and we cleaned out that storage unit, and it was we were not prepared enough. We had a truck and a trailer, as you can see here. And we should have just rented out a huge box truck U-Haul, but we were definitely underprepared, and it took like most of the day to get it cleaned out, and we were running out of time. I think the storage unit ended up staying open a little bit later for us, which was nice of them, but it definitely was stressful for us. But we actually lucked out on that one because, as you can see in the photo, the storage unit had a lot of trash. There was a lot of good items underneath that trash, and it was all covered up. So when we're bidding and we're bidding against other people, none of us know that. And there ended up being about 5 or 7 more of those like the air floor fans, the blue ones. And 3 of them were brand new in the box with wrapping paper. So that's where we made most of our money. So is this worth your time? Like I mentioned before, we were profitable when it was all said and done with all 3, but it takes a lot of mental and physical energy, and it takes months to sell stuff sometimes. And if you don't have a lot of space, and space can be very limited, it's honestly a lot, and it would have to be a very unique situation, or just something that if you enjoy it and you want to do it and get into it, just take it with a grain of salt. Take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt, and do your research, and realize that it is not as easy as it may seem, and it will take a lot of work, but there could be options out there. In my opinion, based off my experience, this isn't worth the time. This next side hustle is one of the easiest to start, and you could get started today. This next side hustle is actually couch flipping, which is what I'm sitting on right now. Why did I say that? I don't know. Probably gonna delete this. How much profit did we make flipping couches? If I had to say from the very beginning to the end, we probably didn't make much on it. We probably profited each $100 to $200. Maybe $250. Couch flipping is one of the most straightforward things. It's not the sexiest thing, but it does work. I will say, based off my experience, it wasn't completely worth my time, but at the time of my life when I did couch flipping, it was. So I was living in a dorm with my buddy, and during the summer, this actually did work out. It all started with another friend of mine who had his own moving business. He had a couch that he didn't want to worry about, and I offered to take it off his hands. And I went on Facebook Marketplace and I listed it for $100, and it actually sold really fast. And it was a clean couch, it had pillows and everything. So based off that experience, I was like, you know what, let me give this a go and see what's out there. So the same buddy who we both went on storage units together, we decided to start couch flipping, and we were able to borrow a truck to go pick up couches. And we had a place to store them since it was summertime and we were in the dorms. Our dean allowed us to put couches in the vacant dorms at the moment. So that's how we did it. And we just looked around on Facebook Marketplace for deals. If we saw something on the side of the road, that was another way that we found couches. So is couch flipping worth your time? The pros of couch flipping are you could get started today. The cons are you do need to have space and you do need to have access to a vehicle that can transport it. And unlike storage units, I don't think it's worth renting a truck or a U-Haul for couch flipping just because the margins can be so low. But if you're young or you have time during the summer or any time during the year and you're looking for an extra way to make cash, then it could work. So I would put this one as it's not really, at least this stage of my life and based off my opinion and how much money you can make doing this, it's not really worth my time. But here comes the third side hustle, which was my most profitable and best side hustle that I actually still do today. I've made several $100s a month on eBay at times, and there was even a month where I've made over $1,000 on eBay, and I'm gonna show you what I did and if this is worth your time. Please consider liking and subscribing to this YouTube channel if you're getting any value out of this, and it really helps me understand if what I'm doing is actually providing value to y'all. Well, I'm gonna start this off by saying eBay is definitely worth your time. All in all, I'd say I made at least $2,000 of profit on eBay. I have the sales revenue here, which is, I believe, a little over 3.5K. But what that number doesn't include is the fees and how much I spent on the items themselves when I bought them. So I'd say I made at least $2,000 on eBay. So the way I got started with eBay was actually a coworker. I was working with him, he was older than me and he has experience, and he said that he was running his own eBay business during COVID and that it was really successful for him. So he showed me what he did and I basically took that and applied it, and there was a few things I tweaked here and there in terms of like how I decided to go about the process and what items I would buy and sell. And that really helped me out a lot because I was at a time in my life where I needed to make a little bit more money because I had just started that job and I took a pay cut. So what I did when I started eBay is basically I would go online and I would find estate sales using apps you can download on your phone. And I would scroll through there, I would look through all the photos that they would post and at what times I could go to an estate sale. And when I would go there, I would basically look for items that had a high sell-through rate, which basically means is how fast can you get it off your hands based off of the number that is currently listed in the past 90 days and versus how much have sold in the past 90 days. And a lot of the specifics I could really get into another video, and I don't want to spend too much time on this video getting into it. But since I was limited on space, since I live in an apartment, I basically went for items that had a high sell-through rate and I pre-packaged those items. So I would take photos of those items and I would have the description and everything, and I would list it on eBay. I would make sure I had the weight of the package and the size of the package, and I would basically number that package, number it on my device or in the description of the item, and that's how I kept track of the packages. So as soon as I made a sale on eBay, all I had to do was print a label and stick it on the package and then just drop it off at USPS. So that's personally how I did it. There's many YouTubers out there, and I can also, like I said, I can also get into it as well in a future video. If that's something y'all would be interested in, go ahead and comment down below. eBay was very helpful for me. It was the first side hustle that I felt like was successful in terms of margins and time. It does take a lot of time, but it can be very well worth it, and it doesn't take as much space as storage units and couch flipping. So is it worth your time? Yes, I would say yes. Based off my experience, it's absolutely worth your time. Obviously, this depends on something where if you would even be interested in it. But if you've ever thought about selling on eBay and you think that's very old school, well, it does work. I've tried it for myself. I have all the numbers here. I did it for a little over a year. I think it was a year and 1 month where I was like super active doing it. And in that year span, like I said, in revenue, I made $3,500. And in terms of impressions, I can only see 3 months at a time, but I have a photo here and I think it was like 200,000 impressions or something like that. So what's nice about eBay is you're gonna get your items out there and it's gonna start doing the work for you. So instead of doing 100% of the work, like let's take couch flipping where you gotta go find the item, pick it up, clean it up, sell it. You gotta be active on promoting it and talking with people on Facebook Marketplace, for example. Well, with eBay, at least once you do all that work of finding an item, doing your research, packaging it, taking photos of it, once you have it posted, at that point, eBay starts doing the work for you until it sells. Then you got to do the work of packaging it if you don't pre-package, putting the label and then dropping it off. But it's nice because at least it's about 90-10. 10% of the work it's gonna do itself, and you're gonna do 90% of the work. It is a lot of work. Don't think for a second that it's not a lot of work. I thought it wasn't gonna be as much work as it was. But the main thing about eBay is you wanna be an honest seller, because reviews matter, trust matters, and the best way to do business is just to be honest. So if you're gonna do eBay, and if you wanna learn more, let me know. I would love to do another video for you guys if it's something that you'd be interested in. If you're still watching, I just wanna say thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. I put a lot of work into it, and it may not look like it may not be much, but I worked hard on it. And if you made it this far and took time out of your day to watch, I just wanna say thank you so much. It means a lot to me.